Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're back. We're back. We're back. Hey guys, I told you. He said he was gonna come back. He's a man of his word, man.
That's it, man.
He's a man of his word, man.
I'm back, man. I'm
So
back.
Dr. Broderick Fowler has joined us,
I'm back,
man. He
yeah.
joined us, doctor in psychology. It's really important, especially what we have with Kobe going on. It's important for me to have him on to talk about psychology and talk about those things. Baton Rouge Cowboy, founder and the president of the Baton Rouge Cowboys Youth
Yeah.
Organization.
Yeah,
But hey, we're gonna do that right now. Just give us a break. We're gonna go to our sponsors. We're gonna come right back, guys, and talk about some of these things. Talk about Kobe. But guys, don't touch that dial and come right back. We're gonna be here with Roger Fowler.
yes, sir.
Need to build a website? If you're a doer like Mark, check out Fiverr. Not a doer? Check out these cats chasing a laser. Nah, you're a doer.
I'm Mark, and I like to get done. So when I needed an e-commerce site with all the bells and whistles, I went to Fiverr and got one. It was so simple. I just searched, clicked, and ordered. I know nothing about building a website, but all you have to do is filter by your time and budget constraints, and Fiverr delivers a list of amazing freelancers who can help you. 5-star rated, level 2 seller. Let's see her portfolio. These are some amazing work samples, and they're all within my price range. Sweet. And on my timeline, what other way is there? Brilliant. Now that's a good-looking CEO.
Stop gleaming and find your website builder at Fiverr.com.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you guys for coming back. We want to thank our great sponsors. We want to thank about Project Jean Pierre with Jean Pierre Spices, Makeup by Malay, who's allowing us to use our great studio again. We have a green screen, but hey, we're still in the studio. So we want to thank you. And also, she's my beautiful wife, but she runs a great business and runs a great makeup and hair studio, and she does a great job with it. But we want to thank her as well. Keep It Moving, my uncle, appraiser service. Keep It
Yeah.
Moving, appraiser service. He does a great job with appraising all across the country. Keep It Moving. He does a great job. Hey, my uncle keeps it moving.
Keeps
when
it
I tell
moving.
you,
He really keeps it
he
moving.
keeps it moving, keeps it moving. And we have the realtor service. What's the realtor service that we have that's helping us this year? The realtor service. Your cousin, what's her name? Amir Realtor.
Kayla Amore.
Kayla Amore, Realtor
Kayla
Service.
Amore. That's
What's
actually,
that?
yeah, Kayla Amore. That's actually my sister.
Sister.
My sister.
Sister. I heard that. Sister.
That's
That's
actually
the
my
sister.
sister. Yeah, Kayla
So,
Amore.
Kayla Amore, Realtor, we want to thank her as well for helping us out and sponsoring our show as well. So, but yeah, we're going to get right into it, guys. We got a segment for you guys. We're gonna share a segment that I had earlier this week, and I talked about on one of my podcasts, and I talked about Kobe, and I talked about who he was and what he was to me, and we want to play a segment of that for you guys, just to kind of segue into our special today, just who Kobe was and what he was to us and what he was to me. We're gonna play a little segment of that for you guys today. All right.
And also the other side of it is you have to go about your day knowing that it could be the last day. So you have to love on each other, but also the mental aspect of it. When you're dealing with mental issues, something could take you over the edge and push you into a state of depression, especially from the outside. So especially somebody like Kobe, who we've grown up with, we've seen him grow. And personally, my personal issues with Kobe was a brotherly type of issues with him. I wasn't always happy with Kobe and things he did. I wasn't. So I'm not going. That's why I guess internally you have to accept some of these things internally. And we're probably going to have a show tomorrow with a couple of friends of mine, and I'll probably share it again with them as well. But I did have issues with Kobe. Some of his team issues, his personal issues. With him growing as a teammate, which he did grow as a teammate. He grew and got better with his personality. I had to wrap myself around his mentality. His mentality was something that was kind of new to me. I had to get around some of his personal growth with his family and some of the things that he had to grow and do and grow as a man, and same as me. So that made me grow into a Kobe fan. That made me grow into a Kobe follower, a Kobe to love him as a man, to love him as a person, because he was growing as well.
And that was a little brief something that I did earlier. So bro, just tell us about your thing. That was my little stitch and get into Kobe and his mentality and about the Mamba mentality. Let's kind of get into that a little bit.
Right.
We talked a little bit in the truck about it.
Yeah. Well, Kobe to me, man, I can be honest.
Yes, you can.
I can,
on my show.
on your show, I can be honest. Listen, I wasn't a big Kobe fan, basketball fan.
Okay.
As far as basketball.
Okay.
And that was his personal stuff. I didn't like the Lakers.
Right.
I was a Bull fan.
Michael Jordan.
And Michael Jordan
Right,
and
right,
Kobe kind of resembled Michael Jordan.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
But I understood how to separate the player from the man.
Yes. Yes.
And so I started to admire him from the man or his preparation or his what they call his Mamba mentality.
Yes.
And I started to embrace that side of it. Not the fan on the court.
Yes.
Now, I wanted him to lose.
Yes.
But
catch your L.
but the work he put in and the time he put in and when I started to understand the hours he had to spend just to learn those moves, and every year he came back better than he was the year before.
Yes.
Man, I admired the man from afar, and I can be honest with you.
Yes,
When he retired, I even became a bigger fan. You know,
Yeah, you were telling me that.
yeah, how he analyzed stuff and how he looked at things and all.
Good.
The Mamba mentality, man. That we should all have a Mamba mentality within us, man. But Kobe was very influential to millions of people, and that's another thing that I admired about him.
Yes.
His influence that he had on millions. You know, he had millions of fans all across the world.
Yes.
Man.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
it is a great loss. It's a devastating loss to our community or to the world.
Right.
And because he was that type of dude, he was that role model. He had that work ethic that everybody
and can be misunderstood too.
Yeah,
And
very,
by
very
your roommates
misunderstood.
and by your teammates and stuff like that. It can really be misunderstood sometimes when you talk about people and you talk about separating. Talk about the separation between the person and the player, because I did the same.
Right.
And I was like, I don't like him as a person.
Right.
I don't like that dude.
Right.
You talking about him when he was Shaq. And,
Right.
You know, and all that stuff like that. But it's a little brother. It's a little and you talked about that about him being, he had a different upbringing. Tell him about that.
Mentally, just my psychology part. Kobe didn't grow up how we grew up. He didn't grow up. I grew up in the inner city. Grew up in the hood, which you called it the hood. And
yes, we both did.
Yeah, I had humble beginnings.
Right.
And but Kobe didn't. Kobe had privilege. He grew up in Italy. He had a chance to be around rich folk, and the rules were a little bit different. We had what we call man law in the hood. You had man law. You just certain things you don't say, certain things you don't do. But he didn't know that. He didn't understand that. And so it was common to us. It was common sense to us, but it's not common to him because it wasn't his. It wasn't common for him to have to do that type of stuff in his household, in his family, and where he grew up. And so, as I got older, I started to understand that, man, I can't expect him to be nothing that he wasn't.
Yes.
And so I started to respect him.
Well, I told that somebody. I said, will Kobe be somebody I go shoot marbles with, and I hang out with, and chill with? I said, hell no. He ain't no dude that I was gonna hang with and have on my show. He ain't that dude because Kobe wasn't that dude to me.
Right.
But as a teammate, and can I win a championship with him? Yes.
Right.
See, that's the difference. That's when I knew. That's when I knew my mentality was evolving.
Yeah, you was mature
because I could separate the championship and my personal from this guy on my team.
Yes,
and from my teammates. And I've had locker room guys where they were on my teams. You remember these guys? They were on my team, but he wasn't my homeboy.
Yeah, you didn't like him too much.
No, Chief, I don't like you
my
like
teammate.
You know, and I don't know if I could trust you in a dark room. You know what I'm saying?
You
know what I mean? So, but Kobe had a different mentality when it was come to on the field stuff and on the court, and he had a different mentality. And like you talk about the Mamba mentality he had, it was different. It took us a while to get used to that, man.
Yeah, man, because it came off selfish.
Yes,
it came off selfish and self-centered and arrogance, and so. But at the same time, to be great, Kevin, man, you have to have a certain sense of selfness to you because you have to believe in yourself.
Yes.
And so I started understanding the mentality. It's a mentality. It's mental.
It was just mental. It wasn't nothing personal.
It wasn't nothing personal.
It ain't nothing personal.
It was mental. It was mental.
It was him himself. What he was doing to raise above and go to another level.
Yeah,
it wasn't nothing personal. And I think we talked about the blueprint. Michael Jordan's blueprint was his blueprint.
Yeah.
He had this Michael Jordan blueprint down fact, but when it was time for him to excel and go to another level, he dropped the Michael Jordan and became the Mamba.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. You talked
about that. Yeah, man. Cause he to study Michael Jordan and to know all of the moves and to be on the same spot on the floor. Do you know how much dedication does that take to do that?
Obsessed.
He was obsessed with it.
Yes.
He was obsessed with it. I couldn't do it.
Yes.
I don't know how he can build that up in his head to do that.
Psychology. That's
hours
obsessive.
and hours and hours and hours and studying and going out and performing it on the court. Not just to watch it, to go out and mimic it and do it. And then make it successful in game settings.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes.
That's crazy. That's a mentality.
We talk about crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We talk about that. We talk about the ball, but he's wired different. That boy different.
He's
that
wired
boy different.
He's wired
but
different.
But here he is. We're talking about him, and but that's, see, get it?
Yeah.
He was wired different, but that's why he was.
That's why he's great. That's why he's great.
He was different, great.
That's why he's great.
And the last one we'll talk about is the shedding of the number. He wore number 8, and he shedded that number and wore number 24.
Right.
Tell us about that. You had some ideas about that.
Yeah, that's when I really started to pay attention to Kobe. I didn't understand Kobe the kid.
Yeah,
Kobe
the 8,
kid,
number 8,
yeah, number
the
8,
rookie,
because,
the 17-year-old.
Yeah, because he was my age. I'm 42.
Right.
Kobe was 41. So we grew up together.
Right.
So the thing different between me and Kobe is my mistakes I made was in private. His was in public.
Oh yeah.
It took me a long time to realize that, and I made a whole lot of mistakes. I tell you what, if they'd have put that on TV, Kevin probably wouldn't have me sitting there now.
We wouldn't be here now.
Yeah, right. So, but I had to understand at my older age, as I got older, like that was a kid growing up in front of the world.
A baby, man.
He's growing up in front of the world, man, and that is a lot of pressure. On you, on your mental. There you go. Back to your mental.
Back to the show.
That's a lot of pressure on your mental because you're not only carrying yourself. You carrying a team, you carrying a lead, you carrying all the peers.
The Lakers, your family, everybody, mom and dad, everybody, right?
Yeah,
and the dad's legacy. The dad played the 76ers.
Yeah.
Daddy played in the NBA.
So Jelly Bean, Bryant.
Y'all remember that? Jelly
Bean, man, Jelly Bean Bryant. So he was greater than his dad, and his dad was a good player, but he was greater. But he knew what he wanted. He understood at an early age that he wanted to be the best of the best. And he wanted to be the best that he can be.
Yes.
Not just comparing himself to others, that he wanted to be the best Kobe Bryant he can be.
Right.
And I believe he accomplished that.
I think he did.
Especially on the court. And off the floor, he just was, oh man, he's an amazing guy.
Oh yeah, and the stuff he was doing with his daughters, the stuff he was doing with in the community. Yeah. I told people about he was getting ready to get into the homeless crisis. He was getting rid of literacy. He was writing a book. He wrote a children's book. The brother was doing some amazing stuff, man.
Bright guy, amazing guy.
Man, you talk about the academy. He had a Mamba. It's called the Mamba Academy.
Yeah. Where
you can come in, you get training, you get basketball training. Yeah. So you talk about Mamba Academy. It's probably gonna still go on.
Oh yeah, it's still last forever.
It's gonna last forever. Yeah. It's a building now, so that building ain't gonna go down no time.
Not only a building, it's a movement.
Right, it's a movement. You talk about the shirts and stuff like that, man. So, but with that, man, we're gonna take a break. We're gonna take another break, guys, and we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk another half, the second half of the Kobe issue. We're gonna talk about mental health and dealing with the mental health of loss and how we deal it, and the loss of athletes when we transition away from sports, because Kobe had to make that transition as well. Right. But we want to talk about that as well. So we want to talk twofold in this conversation. But don't touch that dial. Come on right back. We're gonna be right here with Dr. Broderick Fowler, psychology. Hey man, Baton Rouge Cowboys. He's in the building, man. Hey man, you guys come back with us. We'll be right back.
Yes, sir.
Says being cheap is a good thing. We do. Cheapaware.com. There's nothing wrong with being cheap, with having fun, with saving money. So go ahead. Be smart. Be cool. Be cheap. Just download, click, or call and save on the best flights, hotels, cars, and more.
Cheapaware.com.
Go ahead. Be cheap. All right. Look out. You watch Gumbo TV.
Welcome back, man. We want to welcome you guys back. Again, this is Kevin Franklin, original Mr. Friday Night, coming to you with Broderick Fowler, Dr. Broderick Fowler. I remember forget that all the time because he's my homeboy. This is my friend, man. This is my boy. This is my round, man. Y'all don't know about that. This is my round, bro. But we want to get into another issue, a second half of our issue. We want to talk about the mental aspect of athletes and the transition that we have about athletes, how we transition. Okay. How we transition after the sport, and I'm gonna share this with him. He's gonna share his too. Athletes go through a hard state. I went through a hard state of trying to find myself, of who I was, what I was good at, because I defined myself so many years from football. Right. It's like a loss. It's like a drug, man.
It is, man.
Football get in your veins.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
It's like a girlfriend. It's like an old love. It's like a first love. It's it's something that you never could shake. Yeah. So athletes have to understand that. As a whole, we need to be transitioned. Yeah. Away from it.
Yes, sir.
Rather, so it's part of it. So what is your experience being, and help the athletes too, what is your experience in having transitioned away from sports and the loss of sports and not having it in your life?
I have never transferred yet.
Wow. Y'all see me back in it.
I'm still doing it. Because it was, for me, Kevin, when you in that locker room, man, and around them smelly people,
right?
And you know, you get used to the smell of the people and the smell of the grass, and you get excited about it, man. And when you do it, I started playing football, organized football at the age of 10. Now I've been playing in the yard for forever, you know, since I can remember, right? But I started playing organized football for the Baton Rouge. The Cougars at the age of 10. The Cougars at the age of 10, and
that was before. I think before my uncle got a hold.
It was before. I think it was before.
Right before. Yeah, because the guy passed it to my uncle.
Yeah, I think it was Coach Jordan.
The Howard Park Youth. Yeah. Howard Park Youth became the Cougars, and then he took it over. But they had a guy before that. Yeah. What was his name? The guy.
My coach was Coach Jordan.
Coach Jordan.
Yeah, Coach Jordan.
Yeah,
that was my coach. That was my coach. Legendary Coach Jordan.
Yeah, the legendary. Legendary, man.
Yeah, man. And so
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan. Yeah.
Michael Jordan. We won't have him on too. We're gonna have Michael.
Yeah.
On too.
So when I started to play the game, man, it was addiction, just like you said, man. And I had the privilege to play all the way up, and then now get back into the coaching part of it. And to go, before I go to what you do after you finish, because I didn't know. Right. I just got back into coaching. Right. So I didn't know what to do.
Right.
But what I want to say is it's good to start that at a young age.
Yes.
Especially with these young athletes. I see today, man, how high schools are, kids are picking high schools, and it's just a whole lot, which is, that's a whole nother story for a whole
We're doing
our
best to combat that, guys.
Yeah,
it should be kids.
It should be fun. This should be fun.
Let it be fun. Let the kids be kids, guys. Don't,
Yeah, I mean, that's just my opinion. It's like...
y'all got to realize that. That is just our opinion. Yeah. You want your own, get your own show.
Yes.
This is our show. We got our own opinion. That's just Kevin. We don't represent the whole organization. We don't represent everybody. It's just our opinion. Yeah. And things like that, I think you need to keep the kids in it. Keep
because
kids in it.
You want it fun.
They'll have time to do that when it's college. When it's their time to do it in college, and if they're good enough, and they'll do that in college. But let them be kids for right now, and let them play. You know what I'm saying? I don't want the weight of the world on their shoulders. Yeah, and that's the mental issues. That's what I was getting to at a young age. There you go. See, segue up into it, and that's what I was getting to, because a lot of times we put so much pressure on these kids, and you think it's fun. But to them, it's pressure. It's fun to you, because most parents, let's be honest, most parents, most coaches, they try to live through those kids, especially those good ones. They do. And that's the sad part about it. They do. And so what it does, it puts a lot of pressure on the kid to try to perform, at a high level. Yes. And which they should perform at a high level, but hey, man, that added pressure makes them crack instead of performing what they know. Pressure bust pipes, man. Pressure bust pipes. Everybody can't handle it. Everybody can't handle it. They shouldn't be able to handle that at a young age, man. That should be fun. It should be learning. It should be teaching. It should be fun, man. Right. And so, that leads to success, and maybe you have an opportunity to go be successful. It's like, I didn't know I could do it, but they get expectations, and when the expectations go, then their mentality gonna be messed up. Their mind gonna be like, oh man, I expected to make it, and you didn't, and now it's gonna be some depression. Here it is. It's gonna be some depression. It's gonna be some anxiety. It's gonna be some other issues that I didn't make it, and it goes into Kobe is that he transitioned well. He did. He transitioned well. But he was trying to be the greatest father he could be. He's a prepared man.
He's prepared himself.
I could never understood how well he did that.
Yeah.
I mean, he went into making movies and making books and
winning awards.
Who this dude is?
Yeah.
Businessman. He was making business deals. He was one of his deals he got in with Fortnite and with some of the founders of Fortnite.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, the brother, Body Armor, the drink.
Mm-hmm.
He was the brother with
they
brother was
some
a
of that
very
Coca-Cola. Yeah, he was.
man. So you talk about his brain and you talk about him being able to do that, but athletes need that.
Yeah. All
athletes should do that. All athletes need a mama mentality after the game.
Yeah, and find your peace, man. I tell everybody find their peace. You know, when you
find your peace.
Find your peace when you playing this game. Play it for yourself.
Yes.
Don't play this game or no game for no one else. I know your parents might put a little pressure on you, especially at the youth.
Yes.
You see it, you're very young and it's sad. That's one reason I got back in the coaching, Kevin, because I saw a lot of people that wasn't prepared mentally or physically. And I believe that, you see a lot of physical trainers these days, but you don't see no mental trainers.
Right.
Nobody that going to change their mentality.
Not yet. That's what we here for.
That's not yet.
That's what we here for. But mentally,
and
find your why, man.
Find your why.
Find your why you do it, man. Why you get up in the morning.
Yeah.
Why you want to do this thing. And it can't be for mama.
That's
it. For Coach.
That's it.
Coach Fowler. It can't be for Coach Kevin Franklin. It can't be for us because we're old. We did all our things. But why are you doing it? If you're doing it, you want to be the best Calvin or best Marcus Malik, or you want to do that, or you want to go to college, or if you want to buy your mama a house. Hey, I've seen a lot of that. I just want to buy my mama a house and a car. Yeah. Hey, cool. Hey, brother, whatever your reason is, let that be the reason you get. Don't be because of us for somebody else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And so mentally, I just ask everybody, don't put that pressure on. Let them have fun, man. Teach them and let them have fun.
Right.
And everything else will take care of itself.
Right. And the last one we'll talk about, Coach, is the mental issues of loss, of losing someone like Kobe, and how it affect people. And I talked a little bit about it on my issue is that if you already have mental issues, I told them to check on your people. That's one thing. Because if they already have mental issues, or they you'll see the signs. They'll go into a depression. They won't talk. They don't want to departmentalize it. They really don't want to kind of deal with the world and kind of turn introverts. You got to know the signs too when somebody's going through issues. And this deal with Kobe can make people go. It can affect you. It does. Because we looked up to this dude.
Yeah.
This deep now. This psychology.
Yeah.
This dude affected people. They mimicked him. They bought his clothes. They bought his stuff. So. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that for a minute, Coach. About the loss of someone that special, like you talked about your loss with it. I'm not being, kind of get to a point where you can talk about it.
Yeah, Kobe Bryant, he was a mentor. We felt like we knew Kobe.
Yes.
Because you grew up with him. You felt like you knew Kobe.
Yeah.
You like, man, I don't like that dude, or I like that dude because you didn't know Kobe, but we knew. you didn't know. But mentally, man,
you bought his stuff.
Because you bought
his life.
Yeah, you followed his life. You knew him since he was 17 years old.
Sir. Yes, sir.
And it is just like I say, it's a drastic effect on on all colors and creeds and all over the world. I mean, Kobe probably was just as big in China as he is over here.
Oh yeah,
they're
gonna mourn it. I think they're gonna mourn it. Tougher than we are.
Yeah, and it's tough on me, and it's like I said, I wasn't a fan, but I was a fan of the man.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't a fan of the player, but I was a fan of the man, and it's it's tough on me, and I was like, how could we fix that?
Right. Well, talking, and that's one thing we and you do. And then I knew one thing. I had to call him.
Yeah,
because I told y'all my group. I had to call my buddy, man, and I know I suffer from it, and I've opened up to him as well, and I've opened up to y'all too. I've suffered from it, so I know what I got to do, what triggers it. I didn't want to get triggered by it.
Right.
I didn't want it to trigger my depression. Right. I didn't want it to trigger it, so I said, let me come on, let me call. And I had been calling for about 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
We've been doing this, but we've been doing the dance.
Yeah.
But if I didn't talk to him, it was going to trigger me, and I was going to go into a state of depression. So that just shows how it is, and people don't know I suffer with it.
Yeah, and I dealt with it. I dealt with it as well, and I'm a psychiatrist. I dealt with it, and you know what? I dealt with it for years and didn't know I was dealing with it.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I didn't recognize it. I thought that was normal life,
yeah,
and then I was like, okay, especially in our community, man, we don't know what. Go
that boy, right?
Yeah, go sit down.
Somebody.
Yeah, go get you some cold water, lay down, take you a nap.
Right.
You didn't get that, and I'm like, look, hey, I'm gonna tell you, I'm not a big medicine guy. I believe that you can
say that before.
I've said that before. I'm not a big medicine guy.
If it
works for you, I'm not against it.
Right.
But I'm not a big medicine.
No self-medication.
I believe God made the body where it can heal itself, and I just understand
herbs. He made anything on this planet to be able to heal us. Herbs, plants, food, all that stuff can really help you.
And then principles. You know, putting principles in place and recognizing your illness and putting principles in place to work yourself out of it. That's what I did.
Yes.
And so, and just like Kevin just mentioned, say he had to call people. What I did was I stepped away from it. I deal with mine. I step away. I don't even deal with it at the time, and I step away from it. So it's different methods. Hey, come holler at me, man. I'm gonna let you know some of those methods, but I put principle in place, and I keep everything. I don't get influenced by the outside world because people gonna come up with their conspiracy theories and all that type of stuff, and it ain't that time for that.
Right.
You know, and everybody deal with grief in their own way. You know, they deal with it in their own way. So Kevin called people. I stepped back from it, and other people did. So it's our job to find out what worked best for us. But mentally, man, it's gonna be hard, bro. Because just because you're rich, that don't mean you're mentally stable.
No,
you know, just because
people that's in the dumps.
That's right. Just because you play basketball, football, you're professional. That don't mean you're professionally, mentally. You know, mentally. You know, You know, in a good place. So, man, it's gonna be difficult, but I gotta know one thing: time heals all.
It does.
Kevin, it heals all.
It is.
So, hey, stay prayerful, man, and put those principles in place, and you know what works best for you.
Right.
And so that's what I got to say on that.
Well, Coach, and remember, Coach, I mean, and all this part of is helping, and that's what we're doing, trying to help athletes, trying to help individuals, trying to help all that stuff, and we're doing this as an ability to help everybody.
Right.
So again, if you're suffering from any of this stuff, man, give us a call. Pew is on Instagram.
Yeah, Pew from Marion.
Pew from Marion on. You'll see the link. We're gonna put this link either somewhere right here. Right?
Yeah,
we're gonna put this link. Call the coach
on
up,
Facebook.
man.
DM me, man. I just didn't put my number out there yet because I just don't want people just to call me. But you can get in touch with Kevin, and Kevin can get in touch with me, because this is private. I don't play with this type of stuff because it reaches through our community like wildflower, man, and we see it every day, and it's a sad thing, but it can be helped if it's attended to the right way.
Yes. Yeah. So seek out your groups, man. Seek out everybody, man. But again, thank you guys for joining us, man. We appreciate you guys. And I want to thank my guest. I want to thank him. He's going to come back again.
Yes, sir.
We're going to talk about some things. We're probably going to do some. We're going to probably podcast after this because I got some other issues I want to talk about with Coach. I want to dispel some things. So we're going to talk about it after this. But hey, don't worry about that. Next time, man, we'll be right. We'll come back. We're going to come back next week with another show. Yes, but thank you guys for doing this special with us and coming back, man. We want to thank you and God bless y'all.
God bless,
and
man.
thank you for being a part of it, man. I want to thank you, man. All right. Yeah, take care. God bless.
God bless.